a huge favorite tonight and a huge star in Mexico, and now he brings his trade to Los Angeles, California for the first time. Barely 20 years old, and yet some in that country, Sergio, believe he could be the next megastar.
Some, including myself. I mean, he's technical, he's methodical, he's very gifted, extremely fast hands. He's the future of boxing, in my opinion.
But is he ready for someone like Baldomir?
We're gonna find out. That's always the case with up-and-coming prodigies and gifted fighters. We gotta test them against guys that don't go down like Baldomir.
According to his promoter, roughly 60 million fans in Mexico tuned in for his last victory. It will be even bigger tonight with this American crowd watching. Canelo Alvarez has promised to do something that no one has done in 16 years. Knock Baldomir out. How does he do it, Sergio?
Canelo's very explosive. I mean, he's not much of a mover. He's a combination puncher. But this is the first time he's fighting on the big stage here in Los Angeles. So this is going to be a big test for a young, up-and-coming, gifted fighter like Canelo.
And keep in mind, Baldomir missed weight by over 2 pounds, and Alvarez refused to take the money that was owed him from Baldomir for missing weight, assuming Alvarez believes he'll be making millions and millions of dollars in the future and that this will just be chump change. Canelo in the white trunks, Baldomir in the black.
That's all character and temperament by Canelo Alvarez. I mean, for a kid that turned professional at 15 years old to be giving that kind of money back to a former champion like Baldomir, it speaks volumes of the character of this young man.
Nicknamed Cinnamon or Canelo in Spanish. Currently ranked number 2 by the WBC, number 3 by the WBO, and number 4 by the WBA. Tonight, though, his first stern test by a veteran. Or at least that's what we expect.
A veteran that can take a big punch. I mean, Carlos Baldomir is one of these fighters that can take a big shot. He's persistent. He comes at you. He's a technician, but he takes a big shot. So for an up-and-comer, a guy that's not going to go anywhere is going to test you.
Nice left hook there from Tata. Canelo praised for not having a traditional Mexican style. Doesn't come out and turn into a brawler like so many Mexican legends have done, Sergio. He's much more surgical.
And he doesn't look like a typical Mexican either. I mean, he's light-skinned, red hair, but he definitely has the goods. He has that Mexican heart and bravado, but he doesn't need to show it right away. Right now he's boxing, and he's surprising me a little bit.
And Baldomir just got him on the right hand. Sorry, Sergio.
No, he's surprising me a little bit because he's staying so poised. Usually, Mexican fighters, especially if you're looking out to make a splash, you want to come out there looking for the combinations of big shots, but he's very poised, taking his time, looking for the right shots and opportunities.
Swing and a miss there for Baldomir. Canelo's money punch is the left hook to the liver. We've seen him knock out many foes already in his young career with that shot.
Left hook downstairs or upstairs is his money punch. I think he's looking for the left hook a little bit too much in this first round. He needs to fight behind the jab a little bit more. Start breaking down such an experienced fighter. And you break him down with jabs. And with the older fighter, you got to feint. You got to foot feint and show him things that aren't there for he could fall off balance.
We've talked about how Canelo can beat Baldomir. Sergio, what does the veteran have to do to beat this youngster?
I think Baldomir's having a pretty good round. I mean, the quieter the round, the better. If you could keep the fight...
nice left hand from Baldomir.
Keep the fight in the middle of the ring, just like he did in that round. Land a couple of shots against a young up-and-comer. That's what you got to do to knock in rounds.
The movie Cinderella Man was released in June of 2005, and Carlos became sort of a real-life version of that story 6 months later when he won the welterweight world title against Zab Judah. At the age of 34, Sergio, he was a 16-1 underdog in that fight.
Well, Zab Judah's the real deal. I mean, a multi-division world champion. And for him to beat a champion like that at 34 years old, it's pretty incredible. Not only that, but he goes back-to-back and fights one of the greatest boxers of our generation in Floyd Mayweather. So he's looking back-to-back, really good, solid opposition.
Not to mention a knockout victory in the middle there over Arturo Gatti. Stopped him in the 9th round, and you know how tough you got to be to beat Thunder.
Now, these are names that he's just fought, and that's the reason he's up against a future superstar name in Canelo. But right now, he's giving like he's getting. He's controlling the pace of the fight. He's not letting the younger man fight the younger man's fight. And for an old veteran, that's perfect for you. You want to keep the fight quiet. You don't want no ruckus. You don't want combinations. You don't want speed and movement and agility. You want to keep the fight as quiet as possible, get these rounds in, and that's how you shock and upset a younger, powerful fighter.
This capacity crowd here at the Staples Center in Los Angeles is very heavily pro Canelo.
And we got to keep the crowd quiet as well.
Baldomir fighting out of Argentina. Santa Fe, to be more specific. Nice jab there from Canelo, and Baldomir trying to fight back. Conventional wisdom says Baldomir could hang with Canelo maybe early, but will fade late considering his age.
Canelo's nice and poised. He doesn't waste punches. That's maturity in this young fighter. For 20 years old, I'm really impressed.
Oh, nice right hand from Canelo, and he threw that hook downstairs as well.
His feet are always planted to land those big shots like that. Doesn't fall off balance. Very impressive.
Constantly moving forward. Silent aggression.
And it's a steady pressure, Todd. It's a steady pressure. It's not really with combinations. It's just with him coming forward, looking for shots like that.
Every time Canelo lands a hook, Baldomir reacts. His body is moved. A couple jabs there from Baldomir and missing with the uppercut. Fairly even fight so far.
Fairly even, but Canelo's barely missing with some big shots right there. He stepped back and barely missed a straight right hand that really would have done some damage.
And that'll do it for round 2. Round 3 here from Southern California. So far, this crowd relatively quiet, waiting to erupt, though, the moment Canelo can land one of his patented big shots. But it's Baldomir who gets him off balance early. Baldomir just 2-3 in his last 5 fights. Sergio, not really a heavy hitter. Seems like he was handpicked for this moment for Canelo.
Handpicked with the right name, though. That's the thing. So he's not a heavy hitter, but he's a technician. He knows how to last. He might not be a heavy hitter, but he takes a heavy shot upstairs.
He's durable.
Canelo is looking for that left hook a little bit too much. I mean, he should be setting it up with counters just like that. That right hand right there. He steps back. Very sneaky on Canelo's part. But keep that jab in the veteran's face. See, that's what you got to do with the veteran. You got to make him feel old. You got to get to the side, use angles, use pivots, use those younger, quicker feet.
Nice jab by Canelo. Beats Baldomir to the punch.
And he's going to beat him every time because he has that agility, that youth, and quickness on his side.
Now can Canelo content to sit back and counterpunch, not really going forward for once.
No, I don't think he's going to be content at all. I love that feint. See those 2 feints right there? That's setting up a left hook for later. He's trying to get Baldomir to bite on that, to block the left hook and come around his guard to catch him with a hard shot.
He's got that left hand cocked and ready to rock.
I used to love that punch myself. It was kind of like a Roy Jones. You tap him with a jab just so you can get your opponent to block the jab with his right hand. You get him to bite, and you come around turning that jab into a hook. And that's when you catch your opponent off guard.
Look at these jabs continuing to land. There's another one from Canelo.
And there's that hook. He missed it right there, but he's setting it up. Those jabs are to set up a left hook.
He's got the entry jab and the exit jab working.
Beautiful. And I love that pivot right there. See, that's really that's experience on the young man right there. But he didn't punch because he knows that Baldomir wasn't looking at him. So that would have been a fall.
Swing and a miss again. Gets a big response from this crowd. Canelo made it very clear he doesn't just want to win. He wants a knockout over Baldomir, who hasn't been stopped in 16 years. Canelo Alvarez in the white trunks, Baldomir in the black. What can Baldomir change right now to get some success?
I think he's had some success on the lower level, actually, because he's not he's keeping the younger man at bay. Like, he hasn't really gotten the younger man to throw combinations. So that's a success for our older former champion. Keep the fight in the middle of the ring, get a little bit more aggressive and close the distance. You don't want the younger, stronger fighter to punch at bay like that. So get inside, throw some combinations, steal these rounds, keep the fight in the middle of the ring.
Nice left hand, and now Baldomir coming forward a little bit. I think he realizes he needs to do something dramatic. Baldomir's not the type of guy that's just going to come in here and lay down. He wants the win.
No, Canelo knows he's in there with a veteran, a former champion, so he knows the game plan is going to depend on exactly what type of fight Baldomir's going to bring. And right now, Baldomir's bringing the fight to him. He's coming up a little short. Canelo's looking for counters right now. He's not beating the aggressor. He's letting Baldomir, the older fighter, come forward.
Youth and inexperience, age and experience. That's what we've got right now, but it's Canelo with his strength, his speed, and his timing, which has seemingly led him to win all the rounds so far. Baldomir looked like he got a shot in on the inside there on Canelo.
That's where he's going to get his shots, on the inside. On the outside, when Canelo steps back, just like he did right there, looking for counters, that's when Baldomir is not in a safe place, in the safe zone. That's what Alvarez wants to do with the older fighter. Make him step back, make his legs work. Those 39-year-old legs work.
This very well could be the last time we see Baldomir in a professional fight. Things may be starting to open up a little bit now, as Baldomir gets a bit desperate perhaps, knowing he needs to bank a couple rounds here and there. You know, Canelo's rarely been hurt or even rocked. I believe just one time against Cotto, but other than that, no one's really tested his chin. Baldomir might be thinking, hey, let's see what this kid's made of if I can land a heavy hand. Nice left there from Canelo. Maybe his best punch of the fight. Baldomir trying to get one back, and you know what? Looked like Canelo maybe buckled a little bit there, Sergio. And that's the end of the round, and you see Baldomir react a little bit. He got one back. Baldomir coming out of semi-retirement for this fight. He's fighting for the first time in 10 months, and his previous fight was 11 months before that. So basically fighting for just the second time in 2 years.
Yeah, but look at the names of who he's fought. So you got Hall of Famers in there. You got Vernon Forrest, a man that I know well, Floyd Mayweather, Zab Judah, Arturo Gatti. So the names is what matters. He definitely has the experience. So he has the experience. He knows how to waste the time in rounds like this and make it more difficult for younger fighters.
And if it were up to Canelo, we'd look back on this fight in 20 years and say, you know what? Canelo Alvarez was the best name on his resume. Canelo has long said he wants to be the next Muhammad Ali, which is obviously about as tough a road you could ever go in any sport to compare yourself to that.
Big shoes to fill, but, you know, if you're going to reach for the stars, that's what you got to do. Canelo's missing with some big shots right now. He's getting closer and closer to land those big shots. Everything from a right hook to left uppercut, barely missing. I mean, we know Baldomir could take a big shot, but with a big puncher like Alvarez, I'm curious to see how he takes that big shot.
Canelo going back to the jab. It has served him well tonight. No, straight right hand grazes off the temple.
See, this is the danger zone for Carlos Baldomir. He's not too close, not too far. That's exactly where he doesn't want to be. Alvarez, he's timing him right now. He know, like right there, that left hook right there, barely missed. This is not a good zone, not a good spot for Baldomir.
Right hand from Baldomir, still bouncing on his toes, trying to show you that he's got plenty left in the tank.
He may have plenty of left in the tank, but he has to close the distance. I don't like this distance that he's giving the younger, stronger fighter.
They'll hug it out, show some good sportsmanship after that hit from behind the head. Baldomir now trying to press forward.
And that's what I think he should do, press forward. I want a little bit more head movement from Baldomir, from both actually.
And if there's one place that's worse for Baldomir to be than at arm's reach, it would be up against the ropes. You don't want to get stuck there and have Canelo pound the body.
No, absolutely. So that's the second worst place he could be.
Nice jab at the bell there for Saul. Round 6 here in Los Angeles, California. Todd Grisham alongside the Latin Snake, Sergio Mora. Baldomir seems like he's getting a little momentum working his way the last couple rounds.
A little momentum. He's starting to get a little bit more confidence is what he's doing. He knows it's the middle of the fight already. So when you have an older champion like this, if you get to the middle of the fight, you know this is your fight now.
Let's see if Canelo can start to separate himself here from this 39-year-old from Argentina. Canelo wanted a brilliant performance, wanted to get the attention of the boxing world, even at the young age of 20. Right hand there for Baldomir, who's coming inside again.
And this is the perfect test. An older former champion that takes a big shot is not going to go anywhere. He's going to give you some rounds. Baldomir fighting with his hands down a little bit more, maybe a little arm worry.
Double jab there from Canelo, might even been a triple jab, just one missed. He's been popping Tata with the jab all night long. And now Tata coming forward.
But he doesn't have the legs to continue coming forward. He fell off balance once he threw 2 or 3 shots. That's the reason he's letting Canelo bring the fight to him.
Again, Canelo just too fast. When Baldomir loads up that left hook.
Oh, great body shot there by Canelo. Even Baldomir had to recognize that.
Let's see if Canelo can put his foot on the gas here.
Yeah, Baldomir is covering that right side of his body, so now it's going to open up the top.
A right hand there on the temple. And Baldomir's body language is starting to look a little off kilter.
It's that body shot. That body shot will make you feel a little off kilter.
And now Baldomir's trying to push forward a little bit. He's got to change something up here. Canelo, though, still looking strong, looking fresh, and there's a couple of 1-2. And now a left hook to the jaw.
Big left hook to the jaw.
This is Canelo's best moment of the fight so far. Oh, and a straight right hand. Big uppercut, and a double uppercut now for Canelo right hand. Everything's landing for the 20-year-old.
I don't like the body language by Baldomir here.
Oh boy, Baldomir might be ready to go. And he's gone. Canelo knocks out the 39-year-old. He's not going to get up.
Anytime a fighter falls face first, it's over.
And it is over. Canelo Alvarez gets the knockout. He's so desperately craved. He's unbeaten, and he just might be Mexico's next big boxing star.
Now that's a performance. That's how you make your presentation on the big stage.
Baldomir hung in there as long as he could, but Canelo too good tonight. Perhaps a torch was passed here tonight, Sergio. This may be the last time we see Baldomir fight, and it's just the beginning of Alvarez's rising career.
That's always the case with the old bull, young bull. But right here we see Canelo. Big right hand right there. That's what set up the big left hook afterwards. But he's been setting up that left hook the entire fight, and there it is right there. A check left hook. Baldomir was out. Anytime a fighter falls face first like that, where his head hits the canvas, the referee has no choice but to stop it immediately.
And there he is, Canelo Alvarez, knockout number 26, win number 34.